What's going on, guys? This is Joey Young coming at you another video today. Today was a pretty interesting week. I actually did a few mini rescapes on a few tanks. So let's get started. So as you all know, I have a bunch of swordtail fries that are housed currently in a very small tank. A lot of them are growing up pretty fast and pretty big already. I want them to kind of grow a little bit faster, so they need a bigger tank. So I had this in mind already. I was going to clear up one of the 60Ps for the swordtail fries anyways. So I'm going to have two of them dedicated to kind of growing them up until they can get big enough so that I can do selective breeding in the 50-gallon outside in the rack. But currently the 60Ps are preoccupied by the autos and two rainbow fish that I've been quarantining for several weeks now until they can go into their new system. And actually this week they are ready to go into the new system. So first off, I need to move the autos and the rainbow fish into their new environment. So the autos I bought specifically for the 54-gallon tank that I have all my angelfish in. So right now I only have angelfish in there and a couple autos and maybe a couple loaches here and there. But I really want to fill that tank up with some other species. Since that tank already has a lot of algae growing on the walls of the tank, I think it's perfect for more autos, and just like a school of autos would be pretty nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's move these autos from the 60P into the other tank. And then of course the two rainbows that are in the tank are also gonna go into the rack system with all the other rainbows. These guys were kind of like the last set that I bought, and you know, they had to go through quarantine. I do have two Gara fish that are in here as well. I'm gonna put this into the other 60P that have slightly bigger swordtail fries, and hopefully they'll do good in this tank. So now I moved all the autos out of the 60P. It's time to move the little fries into this new tank. Now this tank has very limited space, so I had to find the smallest net I had, and it's kind of really hard to net on a weird angle because there's like a glass that kind of goes all the way in between, so you can only fit your hand so far back with the net. So I ended up removing everything I could out of the tank first, and then because I already have a ton of fry in here, it's already kind of really hard to kind of maneuver and find all the little fries. So I'm prone to probably forget a couple of them, and probably when I see them again, I'll probably have to re-net them and put them into the other tank.
I saw standing in the street alone. Her head was down, face locked onto the phone.
Alright, so moving on to probably the biggest escape that I've done so far out of all the tanks is my zebra pleco tank. So the tank currently just has a bunch of zebra plecos and cardinal tetras right now. So I did a mixture of different pleco caves in there, and right now the circle cone caves work pretty well, but the one thing I don't really like about it, especially on bare bottom, is the way it moves. So if you have any current or any fish that are in there, it kind of like wobbles because it's not flat, right? It's a perfectly circled cave that kind of just sits there. Now from the research that I've done, a lot of the plecos actually prefer using this style cave versus the other ones. Because I don't really like the wobbliness, and also because of the 33-gallon tank, it's not really wide. So the actual entrance of the cave is really narrow because of the cave itself is pretty long. So I went ahead and decided to upgrade the caves into a condo cave. Now the reason why I'm upgrading it to a condo cave is because a lot of the zebra plecos are juveniles. So they're a lot smaller. They're not really big where they actually need their own caves, or they need anything where they were breeding, because they're not, you know, to the size yet. So I figured for the time being, these condo caves will kind of serve a couple good hiding places for the juvenile plecos, and they kind of can interact with each other and kind of run around and share, I guess, common space versus having their own specific separate caves. So what I did was I removed all of the cone style caves for now and replaced them with condo caves. So from my previous video, I actually mentioned that I bought some condo caves and some plecos from Derek's Fish, and actually these caves actually came from him. If you haven't heard of him, definitely check him out. He has a lot of cool plecos, different exotic types of plecos, and also a bunch of pleco caves because he kind of are affiliated with honeycomb caves. Now these condo caves are really cool. They're built really nicely. Now the company that actually makes them is called Zoo Homes. These caves are really nicely built. Now the caves opening is actually a lot smaller, so your smaller plecos will prefer these caves, and also any fry or juvenile plecos. Now once I put in the actual condo caves, they actually really enjoy the actual openings and holes because the flow can actually go past the actual opening versus, you know, having one end open and the other one closed. And actually the zebras actually went and attached onto the caves like almost instantly. Now this tank can only really fit 3 caves because I wanted the other caves and kind of branches and stuff like that kind of mixed in between the actual tank. So I actually had 3 other condo caves left. Now I went outside and actually looked at my setup outside, and I have a good mix of different pleco caves out there as well. But again, a lot of these guys are also juvenile plecos as well. So what I ended up doing was I swapped out a couple caves and I put condo caves in here for them to kind of like interact and kind of like swim in between. Similar concept as the zebra pleco tank. Now these plecos out here has probably a few years before they actually get to adult size, before they can actually utilize these individual caves for breeding purposes. Now these condo caves in this tank specifically will probably be in here for a while, and actually it'll serve a purpose when they actually start breeding, where the little guys can kind of run around and actually use the other smaller caves. Alright guys, and that's the update for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe. And also hit the bell button for any notifications of updates that I may have that you guys may be interested in. Alright guys, until next time guys, peace.
And I wished I had a number so I could be color unknown. And then I tell her how to look into my eyes and never let it go.